What's going on, guys? This is Inside JPS, and today we have the Athletes Corner. So we're going to be talking to a couple of the guys that I coached this year in physique, bodybuilding, powerlifting, and talk about their contest prep and hopefully show you guys how we go about things here at JPS with our athletes, as well as some of the various struggles that the guys went through, the things that they did well, what they learned, and just some tips and inside information about what competing at a high level entails. So we're going to run through the guys individually, get them to introduce themselves, and talk about their competition season this year. So we'll start off with Crazy Karl, Chaos. Talk to us, Karl. So what'd you do this year?
So this year I did 3 powerlifting meets. So I did one early in the year as a tester for Worlds. Then we did Worlds in June. Then we rolled the dice and we made our transition into the bodybuilding comp, which was long overdue. And we've done the dual peak of Nationals, return back to 66, as well as compete back-to-back simultaneously.
Yeah, in the same weekend. So he's been very modest there. He set the under 74 kilo national squat record in his first meet, 242.5 kilos, and then went on to set the under 66 kilo squat record of 226 kilos, and 2 days later jumped back on stage and came 4th in Australian physique show. So that's why we call him Crazy Karl, and he's going to be really valuable in terms of providing some insight into training at a high level, as well as getting extremely lean during the process. So we'll get to him in a minute on that. Lovely Elizabeth.
Hi. So this year was my return to the figure stage after a 2-year gap. Last year took up some powerlifting in my off season, and then this year, returned to the stage. Probably the best condition I've ever been, best starting point I'd ever had, and best season to date. So this was my 3rd bodybuilding season in total, and now ready for a 3-year off season.
Time to eat and make gains.
Yeah.
Very cool. MRF.
Yeah, so this was my 2nd bodybuilding season. I did compete early on last year, and we decided to compete again. Ended up competing 4 times this season, pretty much all back to back, with just a couple of weeks in between each show, I guess. Ended up getting down to 65 kilos, which I didn't think I'd get down to that low, which is I think 3 kilos lighter than I was last year. So obviously a lot leaner with a lot more muscle as well. So pretty pleased with how everything turned out, especially travelling and dieting while travelling as well.
Top 5 place at
Nationals.
Yeah. 2nd at Worlds.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Juniors.
And now, as Liz said, big off season ahead. Trying to obviously always strive for improvement and to come back bigger and better in a few years' time.
Awesome. So the first question I want to run through with you guys is, what are some of the most important aspects in terms of mindset that you adopt, going into competition, and why do you think that they help you, achieve an elite level in your respective sport? So what, Chaos? We know that you're a man of darkness. Talk to us about that. What are some of the key mindset, tactics or elements you think give you a competitive edge?
I see myself as very psychologically driven, and that's what drives me, especially with the powerlifting. I love pushing the boundaries, seeing what the human body's capable of, and always like to put everything on the line. So if I feel like my mindset wasn't there and I didn't achieve something, then something that I need to work on is not getting beat up for too long. So that's why if I know I can get my mindset and get that adrenaline at a very high level, and if in the case that I do fail, I know I can put everything on the line, and there's nothing more I could have done. So
Awesome. Liz?
Much like Chaos, very driven. Nothing kind of gets in my way. If I really want something, I'll put everything into it, and I'm going to go all in. For me, managing my stress levels was a massive one, especially being a female. We're prone to this, and all those kind of things, beautiful things that come with stress, holding water, all that kind of stuff. So I spent my off season really getting to know what triggers me, what sets me off, and then managing that. So it's not about trying to change yourself, but more being a better manager of yourself. So yeah, just having kind of like changing my environment and making sure I was communicating with everyone involved, because it's not just me at the end of the day that's going through the prep, it's kind of everyone around me that cares about me too. So just having a handle on that made a game changer for me this year.
Awesome. Self-awareness is super important. MRF will be one mindset, behaviour or approach that you adopted that helped you this year become better than the previous years. What allowed you to succeed this year?
Well, I think a big part was being adaptive and like adopting a flexible diet, as opposed to last year where I was very rigid with my eating. I had a plan.
I didn't coach you through that.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Jacob. Yeah, so like a rigid plan where I followed the same plan for 16 or so weeks, or it was actually less than that. And I eat the same foods every day, and yeah, it would have to be that certain meal at that certain time. This time around, obviously being PT as well, where all your days are structured differently, it's very hard to sustain that sort of thing. And just being flexible with everything, adapting, to certain days, having backup plans as well. Like I always had a backup plan just to make sure nothing could go wrong in terms of my eating.
Not aiming for perfection.
Yeah, not aiming for perfection, because at the end of the day, perfection doesn't exist. So yeah, just being adaptive and having backup plans. Yeah.
And at the end of each series of questions, we're going to run through and I'm going to summarise the big take-home points from the guys for you, so that you can get a really clear understanding of what the hell it is we're getting at with this. Leaving no stone unturned was Karl's biggest, weapon to his success this year, and throwing everything at the kitchen table. Liz, self-awareness and knowing how what you're doing is affecting everyone else around you and how what they're doing is affecting you. And then Martin is being flexible and adaptive. So some really, really important elements of success as an athlete, and in general, that I think you can take away from that question and the guy's answer. So hopefully that helped you guys. And the second topic I wanted to discuss was obviously related to diet, because that's what physique contest prep is essentially about. We know that we've got to train hard, and the training has to, we have to maintain volume to preserve muscle, but primarily our success on the stage, and in your case, Karl, the platform, was very much dictated by our nutritional approach. So I guess run the guys through how your nutrition was set up to both cut down to 66, peak for your physique show 2 weeks before then going to set national records. Give us a quick run through of the structure, how we went about things, everything like that.
So we had to be very diligent with our plan of attack. So we knew we had a timeline, and the idea was to actually get under the weight class, which is something I've never done.
We had to get shredded.
Yeah. Usually I like to sit within 3-4 kilos into a water load, but we wouldn't have to in this case. So I actually got down to 64 kilos. Everything went really smoothly. We auto-regulated our nutrition, which is something I've never done. Usually it'll be just tracking your macros. I've done keto as well. I've done all different types of
keto, Karl, is other game.
But this time we were able to get some really big refeeds in, base them around our training. I was able to test the water, get carbs up to like 300 grams at one point.
At 64 kilos, quite a lot.
Yeah, and even bump calories up to closing 3,000 at some point.
Yeah, so we reverse dieted Karl essentially from 64 kilos into his physique show, and then that allowed him to have sufficient energy through those harder training periods going into his nationals preparation. And then it also allowed him to, fill out the 66 class on as high a calorie intake as possible, which worked really well, didn't it?
Yeah. Came in better condition for nationals.
For nationals, yeah. So the lesson there, I guess, is that reverse dieting has a place not only in physique preparation but also in powerlifting, in terms of making weight. Obviously, in your case, we'll probably need to get down to 64, but getting to 66, bringing calories back up to as high as we can, and hovering around 67 to 68 is possibly something we'll look to do it as we prepare for Worlds next year, which is, it was a really good trial run this year at Nationals for sure. Elizabeth?
So this year we took a little bit of a different approach, because I spent my off-season kind of building those calories up. We never dropped below 100 grams of carbs, which for a 46 kilo female, when she hits stage is quite an achievement in itself.
With shredded glutes.
Yes, so that was our goal this year, to have shredded legs, because that's where I hold all my weight. I'm always shredded up top, but getting those legs down. So our aim was to actually get me within stage striking rate 3 months out, and then we just kept kind of conditioning. So halfway through the prep, I was already pretty much ready to get on stage at that point. And it was only then we started seeing the finer lines coming through each week, body changing, and it was all by photograph really, because the weight was kind of but yeah, other than that, we goal was achieved. Legs came in nice and straight, which was good. And so carbs are up, still up really high, and I'm sitting around 2,500 calories per day at 50.5 kilos body weight.
Which is awesome. And just for the context, guys, like we can't necessarily build someone's metabolism, but we can just continually improve the way we go about the approach to the contest prep, and that's what Liz and I have done continuously over the years. I remember your first show as a fitness model, we got down to I think it was 1,200 calories from memory, or even less.
And it was definitely like
50 grams of carbs. It was pretty yuck. But we haven't necessarily improved her metabolism. We've just gone about things in a hell of a lot better way.
And consistency definitely helps.
Yeah, and starting from a position of strength and getting stronger and stronger every single time that you go to compete has definitely made a big difference, not only in terms of the outcome, but also how you've come out of the show. Yeah. You've gotten better and better every time. Less and less rebound, and straight back into the off season, which is effectively where you make gains. So we're not fucking around.
There's no on and off switch with the diet. It's kind of the same diet, it's just more or less food.
Yeah.
And I just go, oh my god, give me all the food, which, don't get me wrong, I'm a girl and I love chocolate. But, you just gotta choose your movements, people.
Exactly right. Now, a lot of lessons to be learned from that one, Liz, and yeah, it was very good to see you continually get better this year over awesome contest, which is awesome. MRF, what did your nutrition look like?
Well, this time we started a lot earlier, like as opposed to last year, probably 25 or so weeks out. Always having the goal of gradually improving every show and peaking for the last one, which was the biggest one in Bali. So yeah, I got down and competed at my first show at I think 66 kilos, and then after that we pretty much just increased calories, and I just kept reverse diet and to my next 3 shows. And I actually got leaner and leaner, and as I said, I got down to I think my loss was 64.5, something like that, and that was with reverse dieting the whole way through. So it was pretty cool because that was something new to me. I'd never really reverse dieted like that, and actually got leaner throughout the process.
It's scary though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when food goes up, it's as an athlete you can become very apprehensive. Obviously you want the food because you're starving and that's all you want at the time. But in terms of your motivation to get better, it can somewhat make accepting more food difficult because you're apprehensive that that's going to lead to more weight gain.
Yeah, and I think that was crucial because, as you say with the elastic band analogy, there's only so much you can stretch it, before it snaps. So yeah, that was a very crucial part of the prep. Gradually improving every show, not just aiming to be my best for my first one. What's the point of being my best for the first one? If I can't sustain that for another 4 or 5 weeks, exactly, I would just crash.
So I guess the biggest lesson from your contest prep was that we can't peak every single time we get on stage. Like we have to really pick those priority shows and those non-priority shows, and accept that we need to be within a range of peak condition, as opposed to trying to chase that elusive peak for all the shows that you perform this year.
As a competitor, it's hard to accept that because you want to be your best at all times. Like when you told me that we had to do that, it was a bit of I took time to get it through my head, and I didn't realise that it was obviously the smartest thing to do. That's why it's so good to have a coach who actually has been through the process and understands the process to guide you along the way.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, a lot of really good points there, Martin. And let's talk about the things that you struggle with. Let's be fully transparent here and put it out on the table. Tears and all, Karl, we know that you're a big softy at heart and you cry home alone while you watch 10 Things I Hate About You. Babe. So let's talk about the things that you struggled with the most. Like Chaos, you've never been this lean before. You've never dieted for that long. You know, in combination with the powerlifting, like you had a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, both internally from yourself, externally from others. Where I know that I felt the pressure from a lot of onlookers, and I'm sure you would have felt the same. So, what were the things that you found most difficult during preparing for both powerlifting and physique at the same time?
Well, Jacob's not very funny, but he took advantage of trying to take the piss out of me a bit, so that got pretty tough at times. I'll say because there was so much structure, I actually didn't have I had moments where I struggled. I think the hardest point was like 24 hours out. It was 64 kilos, and we knew we had these 215 double squats, and I came in the morning, and I was just like, yeah, those moments for me, I built a lot of confidence. So when I missed the second rep, like there's a lot of things to accept, like where we're at, what we're doing, and then I missed my second deadlift double. It was like, oh shit, is this, are we going to pull this off? So my confidence was started to just drop a bit, but then as we got closer, on the day, we knew that it's a brand new day, and we've got to perform, and his attempt selection was brilliant. We didn't leave no stone unturned on that, at the Powerlifting Nationals.
Well, and in terms of dealing with those setbacks, so when you miss a rep, that's, like you said, it's make or break. Some people, their confidence can be absolutely shot, and they just turn into water moving forward. How do you prevent that from entering your thought processes, from affecting your subsequent training sessions? What strategies do you employ to just make sure that is left there, you learn from it, grow from it, and get better? What do you do?
Well, I look at previous meets as well, and like a common trend I've always noticed is like, if under the worst conditions is when I thrive and I do better. Like I've had my worst meets have been when there's no missed reps and things like that. So I just look at those past results and just go, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah, and that's why he's a brilliant athlete. He just believes no matter what. Liz, talk to me. I know that you had many moments. We had many moments where we're sitting here chatting and getting all girly and having those D&Ms. Talk to us about, as a physique athlete, what were the biggest struggles that you faced and how did you do it?
Okay. So big things happened for me this year. I moved house. I bought my own place, moved house. So yeah, financially had a little bit of stress going on in the background there. And the analogy that you used to use, we all have a glass that we can feel our stress in, and most of the time it's like a taco bill's kind of margarita fishbowl, but during contest prep it's like the size of a shot glass, so I can't fit much stress in there. The winter was really hard. I was the coldest I've ever been, like to the point where I wanted to cry every day at work because I was so cold, drinking 10 coffees a day. And I think I remember I was just trying to put everything into this that Jacob had to pull me out one day and just say, look, you keep trying to make more room for more bodybuilding to the point where there's going to be nothing left. And I just remember that day where I noticed that my strength started dropping. And for me, especially doing powerlifting last year and being at the peak of my strength, to see that start disappearing was really, really tough. But what I wanted was to look the best I could on stage, and I knew I've done it before. I trust Jacob, I trust myself, and I knew I could do it. So there was just no stopping me.
Yeah. I guess stress management was probably the biggest thing that you learned this go around in terms of managing that so that you can then manage better the things in your contest prep. And yeah, we actually adjusted your training to allow for more Liz time. We went from 6
days to 4.
4, yeah. Over the course of a couple of months, and I think that made
better quality.
Yeah, better quality training, and I think that it was more a case of damage control at that point, doing enough to hold on to what we got, but also making sure that we didn't lose our shit in the process and walk out of the contest prep with nothing but a trophy or your glory on the stage, and that's not what this sport is about.
And communication is key. Always speaking up.
Yep.
So whenever I was having trouble, anything that was going on, Jacob knew everything that was going on for me.
Yeah, I read between the lines. I read between the lines.
Yeah.
Marta, what do you struggle with the most?
Probably
Your job, you got a girlfriend,
yeah.
uni, you're a busy little bumblebee.
Yeah, I guess it's just being lethargic all the time and having to sustain that for such a long period of time. Also, like, at one point, my internal dialogue started to take over. Like, I was just constantly having thoughts in my head, and I was struggling to communicate with people, like, because I've got, all my clients, it was pretty much them that I was giving all my energy to, because I had to. But, outside of that, it was just always constantly thinking about things, about bodybuilding. That was all that was on my mind. And it was starting to take over, and that got a bit hard, especially towards the end. Like, probably leading up to my first show, it wasn't that bad, but in between my first show and my last, when things really started to get hard, even though I was on the, I bumped up my calories, still lethargic every day and just being tired every day, and that was probably the hardest part for me, because I just couldn't keep up with
Life,
everything that I usually do. Yeah, with life. Yeah, that's another thing, definitely. So that was probably the hardest part for me, and it was something I didn't really experience last time because I'd never gotten this lean. I guess I was on another level, so I wasn't ready for it. It kind of just hit me, and then even traveling to Bali was a big one. That was very hard because I was on my own, and yeah, that whole 24-hour period, just getting there was quite tough. But yeah, got there in the end.
Yeah, I definitely agree that you had a lot of unique challenges, especially for yourself, having competed and then comparing to the previous year. You would have experienced a lot of new things, but I think you did a really good job, because something we really spoke about prior to the contest prep was self-awareness, and starting to recognise your internal dialogue and how to deal with that. And I think that you did a really good job with that. And there was one point actually where you text me and you didn't want to compete, or you weren't sure. You were struggling. Yeah, you were very struggling. You messaged me and said the rubber band's about to snap.
That was leading up to Bali.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Yeah, I guess you were ready to snap and give up on that goal of getting to Bali. So what stopped you? What got you back into focus? How did you shift the mentality from cool, I want out, I've had enough, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I feel like shit, my personality is changing, I want to be me again, to I've got to finish what I started, I've got to get there. Because it is tough when you're in a contest prep, like you have so many things pulling you, back to reality. It's hard to stay focused. So how did you do that?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much exactly how it felt. Just thinking about how far I've come, like, again, I kept comparing to last year. Obviously, I'd already been looking so much better. Then I just looked through photos and realised that, I looked pretty good. Like,
Motivate yourself.
Yeah, and I can take this even further. I think it was maybe 5 days out, and that was really when, all the lines started to come in.
Yeah.
So I knew that, if I've been doing this for 6-7 months now. It's only another 5 days. Like, surely I can push through another 5 days. But it took a lot. But I just had to, I guess, sit down and meditated as well. That helped just to calm things down. Something I never really tried before, but it did work. So yeah, that's all I was thinking. I was just thinking, there's only 5 days to go, so just push through it.
Thinking ahead as opposed
Yeah.
to backwards.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, awesome. And the final question I want to ask you guys is, how has competing this year made you a better person, or better athlete? Like, what was one thing that you've learned, taken away, could be related to anything, both training-wise, nutrition-wise? Obviously, we sort of touched on all of those things with broad strokes, but what has this competitive season taught you, and how has it made you better as a person?
This competitive season made me better in the off-season. Because usually, I always have this word like 10 weeks out, and that's when the switch flips. Where now I'm starting to see the importance of that's what you do 20 weeks out to have that influence on 10 weeks out.
Awesome.
For me, the self-awareness. So making me a better coach, friend, sibling, daughter, whatever. And just being open with everyone. And I don't know. I suppose when everyone kept asking me, how do you think it would go and what have you, and I was just like, I already felt like I'd won halfway through the prep because I already looked better halfway through the prep than I did the last time I competed 2 years ago. So for me, the whole thing, the whole journey, the whole process was a win, and that's kind of how I look at life now. So how I approach my everyday tasks, work, my clients, everything. If it's improving, then it's already better than it was the day before, and just striving for progress.
Winning through the process, not the outcome.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, Liz McCormack. Marta?
Probably, I've really been able to realise how much I can actually achieve if I put my mind to it. Like coming into the competition season, to be honest, I was really scared about all the things that I was going to be up against. Like, as I said, my head was just full, and at some points, obviously, I didn't think I could do it, but now I know that I can. That just gets me excited for the future, because in my next season, I guess I'll be even better. And as Liz said, striving for improvement. That's one thing that I really have learned this season, is that you can't be your best all the time, at all times. And we gradually got better every show, and improved every show. That to me meant a lot, because I'd never really taken that into consideration. Yeah.
Awesome. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the discussion with the guys. Again, they are very elite level athletes. All of them have achieved some pretty impressive things this year, and I look forward to seeing bigger and better things in the coming years. Make sure you comment if you've got questions for the guys or myself. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll speak to you all next time.